which is HEIT, M as in Mary, A-N, Heitman.com. Or Chris Thornburg is a great speaker at many of these conferences, and he's at beaconecon.com, BEACONECON.com. A lot of information is at housingwire.com. It's a great resource. DS News is a great resource. So that's where you can learn of the owners of these, the shadow inventory. It's important for the real estate agent to know and realize which companies outsource to companies like LRES, which companies do not outsource and list direct with local real estate agents. Condor Capital is an example of that. They do not use outsourcers to sell their REO. They hire agents direct through their asset management.
Really? Well, I'm definitely going to reach out to everyone you just named and get them on the powers now. And I could use your help, Roger, so I'll be calling on you.
Absolutely. No, there's great people on all those companies I just mentioned, Eric. I'd be happy to introduce you.
I appreciate that. So it's clear to me that if I'm a real estate agent, that I need not give up, but in fact I should probably double up my efforts if I want to get into this game of REO.
You have to be diversified. Remember, you're building a farm.
Right.
When you're selecting a neighborhood or zip code or tract of homes to be that local area expert, same with the REO business. That requires a plan, a timeline, a budget, and understanding what marketplace you're penetrating.
Right.
I think that if I'm selecting a new home tract and I'm going to be the area expert in that, I can't expect that I'm going to be the only area expert in that tract. What am I going to do to set myself apart?
Right.
How am I going to prove to the homeowner that they need to select me ahead of my competition? And I need to know, in this instance, in our industry, who is the homeowner? Do they outsource to another company, or do they list it direct?
Right.
And then whom do I need to have the relationship with, and how do I get in touch with them? What's the best way to approach them? When is it the best to approach them? How do I get that one-on-one FaceTime with them? And it's very, very important. And we at LRES want the best qualified agents to sell for us. Our job, Eric, is to find the best real estate agents to complete broker price opinions and sell REO. And our job is to make sure that we provide them with those tools to be the best. And we know we have competition. It's not all about us selling for our customer. We have to make sure that agent in the field chooses to complete our work ahead of our competition.
Right.
Because we, too, are judged on the timeliness and the quality of our product.
So you're focused on trying to differentiate yourself, your company, so that you can continue to get more assignments or product. And so agents, when they identify the source, whether they are an outsourcer or they assign direct, and they understand who the decision makers are, and they understand the right time or the timing to get in front of them, they now have the perhaps the most challenging part is in what they say and how they truly in their elevator speech or in that interview differentiate themselves from their competition. And so let me ask you, Roger, what is a differentiator for you when you're talking to an agent? Are you receiving a request for assets? Someone signs up on your website to become a member of your list. What's a differentiator for you?
I'm going to use my mother's words: neat, complete, accurate, on time. When completing the application process, when communicating with us, be accurate, be on time. Also, that one page, it's very difficult for us in the electronic world. We want one page of bullet points to express the qualifications. and that's really what it takes, Eric. Again, it's difficult for us because we're not Fannie Mae, where we have 3 million assets in order to provide every single agent in our network an opportunity. We have, unfortunately, or fortunately for the homeowners, fortunately, but unfortunately for us, we don't have a property in every single zip code, every single piece of area. But therefore, we request patience on the agent's behalf to be prepared. When we do call upon them, it needs to be a situation where they're locked, loaded, ready to go, and understand the job at hand in working for our company. Take advantage of the opportunity when it's given to them, and perform above expectation. If we ask it in 2 days, get it to us in 1. If we want to, if we need it the right priced, make sure you go the extra effort and price it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the appraisal is going to come in higher.
Mm-hmm.
And so be prepared for reconciliation and document and be able to back up the value you're putting on there in listing the property.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared. Be the expert that you say you are when you're called upon, which we are very, very fortunate at LRES to have an excellent agent community. But that doesn't mean that we don't have room for more.
Right.
Competition, it's the American way.
That's right. Well, that's really good to hear. Let me ask you, is it possible for someone who is new, maybe are you a first client type of asset management company, or is that just not going to happen if a person is looking for their first account? Or are you open to giving people an opportunity who would like to get in?
We actually sign up agents and appraisers frequently. We find ourselves seeking agents and appraisers in certain areas.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yes, we're going to be demanding.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, as a newer agent, if you will, or an agent that's got a tremendous amount of experience in resale, however, not necessarily in REO.
Sure.
You're an articulate agent. Let's rock and roll. My
Right.
opinion, you're not going to be seeking our business if you don't feel you're qualified and prepared to do it.
Okay.
So that's my approach on it, Eric.
Now, Roger, and this is my last question on this particular area, but in terms of qualifying and the candidate, how important is the association of that agent, his affiliation with organizations like NAREB, the National Association of Hispanic, NAREB,
Sure.
or ARIA, the 3 major minority trade associations, or even the national ones like CAR and the state and national NAR. How important is their association with these organizations? Do you put any particular emphasis on one or the other?
Not one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
However, we are very engaged and very supportive and very enthusiastic. I love your organization, Eric. I love your leadership in that organization and the mission that you have set forth for all of these organizations that you mentioned, NAR, ARIA, NAREP, NAREB. We are very fortunate to be affiliated with those, and yes, we do note the different affiliations that each agent is with,
Mm-hmm.
Including software programs that they're affiliated with, such as Depot Point. We've recently partnered with Depot Point through Agent Connect, and we encourage each agent on this phone to sign up through Depot Point Agent Connect, along with investigating through Equator and ResNet. Those are also ways, not only with LRES, but with other asset management companies. Other asset management companies go to Depot Point through their Agent Connect, Equator, and ResNet.
Okay. Now, Depot Point, is that a website, depotpoint.com?
It is depotpoint.com.
Okay.
And you'll go to their affiliations through Agent Connect, and that's a company where we seek, again, when we are looking for agents to perform work for us, we will go to that website as well when seeking agents, as do other asset management companies.
Right. Okay. Roger, I tell you, I should have made this a two-parter.
We can do that, Eric. That's fine.
Time is flying by here. It's already 11:11. I wanted to, and we're still on bullet one, Reo and Short Sales.
No, we can make it a second call. That's fine.
Okay. I'm thinking now about short sales. There's a lot of talk about a top-down model. Banks somehow finding a way to refer people who would like to short sell the property as opposed to going through the foreclosure process. Are you engaged in discussions with any banks about participating in top-down models? Do you have a top-down model that you're working with an institution with for short sales?
Sure. We do not today, Eric. Mm-hmm. The top-down model is a newer model, and I don't really understand how that is going to play out yet. And the reason I say that, the homeowner owns that property. The homeowner has the final decision whether to accept the short sale or allow it to go to foreclosure or reject a sale. Remember, the short sale can involve an association dues, real estate taxes, IRS liens, seconds, thirds. There's a lot of reasons why short sales don't close. You can have the best, and this is just one man's opinion, you can have the best mousetrap for completing a short sale and get down to the wire and have it not close.
Right.
However, if the industry can figure out a way to streamline many different decision makers to approve or the cleanliness of a short sale, we'd be very interested in looking into that, but to date, we have not.
Okay. Let's talk about completing BPOs for listings. I know a lot of real estate agents, and I have to tell you, one of the greatest complaints is that they will get, numerous BPO requests, but not enough, not enough of them. In some case, none of them actually turn into actual listings. First of all, what is your policy in regard to BPOs? Are agents required to do maybe a certain number of those first before they're going to get an asset? And then, what are the odds for a BPO converting to an asset if they're done for your company?
Let's start with the odds and who we're hired by. In many cases, Eric, well, let me even back up further. Unfortunately, it is not a scientific determination of why a company will hire someone to do a BPO request compared to, and then it turns naturally into a listing.
Okay.
Remember, a broker price opinion is requested by the owner of the loan for multiple different reasons. They might be updating values in their portfolio.
Okay.
They might be updating a value because the loans become delinquent, and they need to compare that value to their last appraisal that was completed. They might be selling that loan. They might be buying that loan. A buyer might hire a company to perform a BPO. They might be requesting a backup BPO to an REO listing. So there's a lot of different reasons why companies are requesting broker price opinions.
Roger, before you go further, that explanation alone is news. I think that because I think that there is the assumption that if I get a BPO request, this property is either going to foreclosure or it's being prepared to. It's in foreclosure and it's going to be sold on the market. And there are probably 10 other reasons why that property is being evaluated, and none of those reasons have to do with it actually going to sell on the open market. They do complete a pre-foreclosure BPO, so they'll do it probably at 60 days delinquent, and then they'll do it prior to the sale date as well to set their sale value. I will state that unequivocally